What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World and Tom Basslines. That's what we're talking about in today's video. If you're tired of utilizing the same old saw, square, bass, and you want to try something a little different, then why don't you give the Tom Bassline a chance? Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking it's going to sound like Walker and Royce basslines and Tribal Tech. And well, yeah, it might sound. You can also get it to sound a bit more sustained when you find the right tom. The cool thing about this technique is that it's so experimental that you don't know what you're going to get. And I think that's the coolness of it. Now, there's a couple of things we gotta do in order to nail this properly, and in today's video we're gonna cover just that. Now, if you want to support the channel, guys, make sure to head over to evilsounds.com where you can find all of my sound design work. We're gonna be using some of the loops and drum samples from one of the Deceiver packs, and if you like what you hear, consider checking it out. Now, let's get straight into it, guys. So, all right, guys, so welcome inside of Ableton here. So this is the loop we're gonna have right now. You know, your boy tried to add a little tribal chant, but it just didn't fit. Just running one loop there and whatnot, just selfless promotion. Like I said, you know, let me eat. All right, I know some of you guys get mad, like, oh, come on, Sam, don't promote. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and just look up a tom, and in all honesty, I think you can go into any tom or any sample pack you might have laying around and execute this. So, for instance, you know, let's see, we'll try Confessions Volume 2, and we have like these kind of toms we can work with. So the key here is that I can grab any tom and essentially turn it into a bass. But the idea is going to be that we are also going to process it and push it a little further. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab that tom there and play it here at C. Now at C3, it sounds like it's a little too high. But you can see there I'm getting a good amount of low end. So we're probably going to go with this guy. Now what I want to do is I want to run an EQ. You can also run the tuner from Ableton. And I want to find what key this tom is in. So usually a tom should have a stable low note, which we can find when I'm hitting A here. But let's hit that C, high C. Now, the reason I'm playing C is because that's where usually you're going to be able to tell where the tom is, and you just set your sampler to that. In Serum, you're going to have to change semitones. So it looks like we're in C, so we should be ready to go with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay down the law, lay down a bass, and, you know, hopefully we make something good. I'm not all that good at improvising. And let's just go. Oh, Lord, what happened? So it looks like we're going to have to be there. That's going to be the sweet spot. So let's kind of make something in A. Just. And then we'll do an up an octave. Do that. Now, if I leave it like this, of course. You know, it's going to sound like a tom, but the idea of this is that we can then hit it with, first off, a little bit of decapitator. I'm going to use a mono from Ableton's utility, but again, if any way you can make it mono, it's up to you. We're going to I guess sum it down with just the left right signal. And then we're going to push this. Now, the idea here is now we can get rid of all the top stuff. I'm putting my volume up because that actually sounded pretty good and it sounds a little quiet in here. But the idea here is now, if I take off Decapitator, yeah, we're adding a bit of meat. Now, the reason I think this works really well too is because you can get toms that are just very like busy. And what I mean by that is it's just not a simple sine tone, but there's a lot more to it. It might be an acoustical one, etc. But the key is that when you decapitate that, you go, blah, chop the head out. No, but when you saturate it, you get some of that dirt that you can't really emulate with Serum or Silent or Diva or an analog synth. It's just more of a sampling kind of bass technique because we're starting with a source material that's all not that clean, and most synths want to be as clean as possible, fresh as F. So that's where we go with that. Now we can try this with something else. Now, before I go any further, there are a couple of things you can do for the advanced producer. And again, this is stuff advanced quotation marks because you read the manual. But inside of Ableton Sampler, we do have a pitch envelope that we can execute if you want. You know, this sounds too tonal for me, Sen. I want it more tonal. Then we can add a bit here of decay. So then you make it a little less atonal. And now you start getting more of that. But the key there in the way this works is that we have a pitch envelope saying we're going to go up to 7 semitones. And we hit that really fast, but then the decay time makes it go back down to original, let's call it A, but that gives us more punch. But you can also make it sound more tonal, because if the majority of that bass, all you hear is the pitch down, then you get in a tonal sound, which, you know, 909 kicks are usually going to be known for that. So that's when people say, tune the kicks, Deadmau5 is right, and I ain't throwing beef. All right, but anyways, again, there's like, it depends on the context we're talking about stuff. So let's do another one. Let's just have a bit of fun with this idea of using a tom as a bass. Maybe we can go into the Ableton stock library. We did pay for it, and find one. I don't want solid stereo. So I'm looking for something that will have a good amount of low end. That's for, that one's interesting. We could try this one. We'll have fun with this. All right, so what we're going to do, get rid of Decapitator again. Just put that over here. Oh, man, I already sounds like it's already there. No, but let's see. The thing is that we can also open it up a bit more and get that sort of like, I guess you could say texture from the top of the tom and just get it to sound really nice. Let's change the key. Let's go lower, like that clone track that came out. And that now it's really dirty, so. We're gonna go low D. Let's see how that sounds. Let's get rid of that chat. That sounds nasty, bro. Nasty. And we haven't even decapitated that ass. All right. Sorry, YouTube. Anyways. That's a little too much to see. So. Yeah, that's just mean. I don't know about you guys. You guys might be like, that sounds like crap, son. But to me, it just sounds like character. You could say crap has character. No, but that's the idea, guys. That's the idea. Now, if you really want to take it simple, let's say you're like, you know what, Sen? I'm the kind of guy that likes to start off with spaghetti without any sauce, because then I can choose to put a bit of pesto, a bit of tomato sauce. I could throw cheese, maybe some meat, some shrimp, candy. I don't know what the fuck you guys are into, but you get the idea. Then you can go with a more 808 bass tom. So the 808 tom is going to be one of the cleanest things you can get, and there is a bit of a pitch that you can hear in there, so you're definitely going to get more unique stuff with that. Now I feel like the tom 808 low from here should be in C, so we should be fine. So now we're going to have this. So the idea is that if we can maybe run any sort of distortion, we can really push that to get a bass. And again, the whole concept of this video is just the fact that, you know what, you're tired of the saws and the squares. You want to spice up your life. You want to go on a trip to the Bahamas with the boys, do your thing, come home to the wife, and, you know, pray nothing bad happens. But, you know, that's the idea of this. I don't know, it's just a joke. Just let's go low tone. And now we get this. Hey, mama. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the video. That's what I wanted to talk about. Tom Basslines. I showed you how to find the key of them, which again, you go in here and you pick the resonance. Now it does get a little more difficult when you're dealing with toms that are a little bit more higher pitched, but I still think the same process applies. Find the key and you'll find the bass. Other than that, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, let me know, because I'm running out of ideas, guys. I feel like I've made a video on just about everything when it comes to tech house, like how to make a tech house baby, how to, you know, make tech house kicks. So if you have an idea for a tutorial that doesn't include like make a tech house drop, because God knows, then I'd like to hear so that I could make it. But other than that, peace out. Support the channel at evilsounds.com.